Hi everyone, my name is Analia Pastran. I'm the Executive Director of Smartly, social enterprise that localizes and communicates the Sustainable Development Goals in Latin America. For me, it's a great pleasure to be here in Jen, Egypt, a country that I really love. Um, I would like to especially thank Ahmed Rahman for inviting me in this uh, series of webinar. I'm very grateful to be here with all of you. Well, in Smartly, we've been working the Sustainable Development Goals that were adopted by the United Nations in 2015. And the Sustainable Development Goals are a guide of action to transform our world right here, right now, in a sustainable way, thinking to protect the people, the environment, and to have a sustainable development and economic growth, of course. And well, unfortunately, the latest days, years, we've been noticing that the overconsumption is increasing day after day. We are observing that the overshoot Earth Day, there is a medition that measures how is the resources that Mother Earth produce per year and what is the consumerism in terms of that. It's showing us that since the 1970s, the overconsumerism is increasing year after year. And unfortunately, in 2010, we observed that at the end of August, we've been overconsuming all the resources that Mother Earth were producing. That invites us to rethink the way how we are producing, how we are consuming our resources. Of course, this situation, COVID-19, it accelerated that in a way that inviting us to rethink the way how we are living in our cities, how we are producing, how we are consuming. And well, there is a challenge ahead, but also a big opportunity. Of course, the COVID-19 situation, the pandemic that all of us, we are living globally is affecting the quality of health, the sanitary equipment that is still not in the good conditions that the country needs and the population needs. Also, we are observing how, well, it's increasing the poorest people in different regions and areas around the globe. And of course, we are observing that this transformed the way how we are working, how we are learning, how we are studying in our universities, in our schools, because we need to do everything online by now, like this video conference, instead of being personally in your country, have to do it via online. And that invite us to rethink how we can produce in a sustainable way, working and using the new technologies that we have right now. And of course, this pandemic is affecting the Sustainable Development Goals, this kind of action that we have as human beings. We propose ourselves to have the same goals, like to achieve zero hunger and to get better quality of life, resilient cities, and among others, SDGs. And of course, this pandemic is affecting all that, but also it's inviting us to rethink how we can produce, how we can study in a sustainable way with the opportunity that technology is giving us. And well, I would like to think in terms of production right now. In this video conference, I would like to propose you to think how we can produce in a sustainable way, because this COVID situation is inviting us to, after this pandemic, we have the opportunity to reorient and rethink our organizations, our projects. And So we have right now the opportunity, instead of producing a case for a cell phone, instead of producing it with plastic materials, we can produce it in biodegradable materials, in eco-friendly materials. And that means that we are going to produce, but in a sustainable way. And why is this so important? Of course, we have a war also, not besides the pandemic situation, also in terms of plastic. We are using and producing a lot of plastic, and plastic of one single use, like plastic bottles of water. And that means that we will need a lot of time for those materials to take it out from the environment. And that's something that we need to think right now. And also because the new generations, especially millennials, centennials, they want to consume in a sustainable way. And that's something amazing, because young people they want to consume products that are produced in with an eco-friendly material. So, and that's an amazing opportunity of making business and getting more profit, because those kind of consumers, they want to consume in a responsible way. And instead of buying a cell phone case that is made of plastic, that it costs $5, they prefer to buy a case of cell phone that is eco-friendly and it costs $10. So I'm talking about that. This is how the market is changing, and especially youth is showing us how this is changing. So we have that opportunity to see how this market is showing us how people they want to consume. And there are a lot of brands that they are losing a lot of sales and opportunities because they are not producing in a sustainable way. And the market is showing us that if you are not producing in a sustainable way, you will have less opportunities to get and to achieve more market, more consumers. And that's a good opportunity to right now to rethink that and to have a sustainable canvas. All our companies, no matter if you are producing services or products, you have the opportunity to produce in a sustainable way and to think in your canvas of business to get the sustainability as an important field to achieve. And from the beginning, from the zero moment of your business, you have the opportunity to think your business in a responsible way, because the market is, and especially the consumers are waiting for that, and they want to buy it and they want to pay, no matter if it's a bit expensive, they want to buy in that way. And COVID-19, this pandemic that we are living, is inviting us to rethink the city and the organizations and the products and how we are living, and if this is really the normal that we were used to live, and know if it's that we really want for our life after the pandemic, for our next generations, and of course that's challenging, because we need to be more innovative, more creative to think solutions. But of course, our generation, it has the main opportunity, more than ever, also living this and surviving this pandemic, this crisis, to be more resilient, more responsible with the ecosystem, with our communities. And that's the way that we can make a change. We are promoting a platform of sustainable entrepreneurs in Latin America, because there are a lot of entrepreneurs that they are producing in a responsible and conscious way, and they need, of course, organic cotton. They need a lot of eco-friendly materials to produce, and they need investments, they need support more than ever, because it's more challenging to be a sustainable entrepreneur, because you have more difficulties than producing in no matter how. So that's something that we are trying to support and give them the trainings, the capacities to get the transformation. But it's amazing how this is increasing also in Europe, also here in USA, and I think that is an amazing opportunity also for Africa, also for Egypt, especially Egypt, that is an innovative, creative country that it gives you the opportunity to think in this sustainable way. And what it means to be sustainable, of course, it's related to produce with eco-friendly materials. Of course, it means to get better qualities for your workers, a good salary, and an environment that is properly and friendly for your workers. That's something important, and it's related to the SDGs. And the Sustainable Development Goals that are 17th are a guide that invite us to think our businesses, our practices in a concrete way, that we can read an SDG and see, okay, how I'm impacting this SDG, how I'm working the Sustainable Development Goals. And that's something that I would like you, through this webinar, to invite you to think how you can promote the sustainability, how you can work in a sustainable way. But also when you are starting a business or you are starting services, how you can be an eco-friendly with your community, with the whole environment. And that's something that I think that will be great for the whole community, and of course for the whole world, because that makes an impact globally. The SDGs are, we like to say that the SDGs are like hashtags in public policies. The SDGs are like hashtags in social media, because in social media we have these hashtags to connect each other more quickly and connect subjects and themes. And now the SDGs give us the same opportunity. If I'm saying I'm working SDG 4, good quality education, and another organization, university, saying, okay, I'm working the SDG 4 too, that connected us more quickly, more the partnerships works more fast, and we need to think that we live in a globalization world, and we have a lot of organizations globally, and that give us the opportunity to make partnerships, not only in our country, not only in our community, globally. And when we start to think that our business, our organization can make an impact globally, that gives us a lot of opportunities and contacts and connections. And that's something that the Sustainable Development Goals is giving us the opportunity to get this universal and diverse language that all the cultures are embedded, and that's something that we have this opportunity to communicate, to make a strategy for our organizations that with a global impact. That I think it's really important. And also, living this pandemic, we observe that all the partnerships, all the activities that we need to increase are more than important right now. Let me see that I have. Okay, let me see if I can close the window, because let me see if right now you can see me better, because I received a message that people is not seeing it well. And and of course we have through this pandemic the opportunity to be more open to partnerships, because people globally and all the organizations globally are more open to share solutions, share good practices. And if you are open to get that kind of partnerships and alliances, it's a good opportunity more than ever, I think, to be aware of that. And and the other thing that I would like to share with you is how we can connect these sustainable entrepreneurs globally. And we are working on that. We are preparing with the International Council for Small Business, ICSB, a journal and a special issue about sustainable entrepreneurship that I would like to invite you all to join us. We are going to prepare different chapters with different cases of sustainable entrepreneurs from different regions around the globe. And this journal is going to be launched next year in January. And so we are going to compile all the articles and the cases and the concrete actions that are happening in about sustainable entrepreneurs. Right now until the month of October. So I would like to invite you, if you can visit the icsb.org website and see how we are working this journal with all the cases of sustainable entrepreneurs. I think in Egypt, I know that there are so many cases about that. I think that will be awesome to get your input and your cases and your experiences, and to share that with other entrepreneurs that are working in a sustainable way in different regions of the globe. And what else? I would like to, I don't know if there are some questions. I know that Basma is helping me. Thank you so much, collecting all the questions that you may have. And lastly, I would like to say that regarding the beginning of my lecture is, of course, every country is over consuming in a different way. Not all the countries consume in the same way. That's clear. And but all the citizens, all the entrepreneurs, all the organizations, we have the responsibility to produce and to consume in a different way, because the planet is just one. We don't have a planet B to move, and we need to be and to create this sustainable development, because it's possible. Is development that is thinking in our future generations, that they will need the same resources that we are needing right now. And with that in mind, it's important because we get the clarity of what is our mission, what is our vision as a business. Not only making money, it's making a legacy for our future generations, because they have the same right of us to consume the resources, to produce, and that's the change of paradigm that I'm talking about, the Sustainable Development Goals. That guide of action to transform this world, the 2030 Agenda, invited us to think about a legacy, to think about the future generations, and also to think about that the marketplace is changing, and the consumer is right now they want to consume in a sustainable way. So we have the opportunity right now to make a change of paradigm in terms of production. And this COVID situation, this pandemic, accelerated that process, because we've been having this climate change crisis, and right now we have this pandemic situation that give us the opportunity to rethink, to reorient our business strategy, and to try to be as sustainable and responsible as much as ever before. We have this opportunity right now, and we need to use that opportunity to be very innovative, very creative, and bold, and to get that challenge. And we have the responsibility because perhaps our generations, well educated, with a lot of opportunities, with degrees and masters, we have the opportunity to to think about also this sector of society that they didn't have the same opportunities of us, that 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 being responsible and inclusive with all sectors too. And I think that's something important to get in mind. So, well, I would like to invite you again to join us in this journal of the International Council for Small Business, ICSB.org. We are going to compile all the cases of sustainable entrepreneurs that are happening right here, right now, in different parts of the globe. And of course, I will be more than glad to get a lot of cases from Egypt, from all the region, because we know that the innovative people and creative people is giving different kind of solutions, especially during this pandemic. I don't know if there are some questions, Basma, let me know. But I think that I'm going to end the presentation. Unfortunately, I couldn't share my screenshots. I have my PowerPoint, but this platform didn't allow me to do that. But I would like to invite you to visit this ICSB.org website, this journal, this special edition about sustainable entrepreneurs. And I hope you get your approach, your feedback from the sustainable entrepreneurs that are happening in Egypt. Basma, let me know if I have questions, or we're going to end the live. Meanwhile, while Basma is sending me the questions, I would like to invite you all to also to see and read about the Sustainable Development Goals, how you can implement the Sustainable Development Goals in your organizations. Of course, I will be more than glad to help you. And please contact me through Gen Egypt, and we can keep in touch and discuss different ways to get this localization in your organizations and how you can communicate that, because that's really important too. Well, I think there are no questions. I think so. I would like to thank you again to all for joining me in this webinar. Thank you again, Gen Egypt, for inviting me. And well, we keep in touch. Of course, I will be more than glad to support and be in touch with the sustainable entrepreneurs in Egypt and all the organizations that they want to implement and localize the sustainable development goals in their organizations, and well, and make partnerships, of course. Have a good day. Good night there. My best to all of you. Bye bye. Greetings.